Welcome to Train Signal. You're watching a lesson on configuring Remote Desktop Gateway. In this lesson, we will review exactly what the RD Gateway is, and then we're just going to jump right in and install the RD Gateway and configure it. So, what is this gateway? Well, again, remember with Remote Desktop Services, we can allow users to connect to sessions out on a session host, but we can allow them to connect either from the local network, which is what we've seen so far, or from outside the local network, and more specifically, that might mean via the internet. So the illustration I have on the screen shows you that you have a client who is outside the firewall. That's representing outside your corporate network. And on this firewall, you'll notice that port 3389 is blocked because that's a security issue. So we want to make sure that 3389 is not open. But most firewalls do have port 80 and or port 443 open because this allows HTTP and HTTPS traffic to pass through. Okay, these are two very common ports to have open on your firewall. So the idea here is the client can connect to the gateway via port 443. Okay, so we're going to use HTTPS to connect to the gateway. And the gateway will then be the only one who's truly communicating internally with the session host and will then present that session back out to the client via port 443 so that you have this secure connection from the internet. Okay, so to kind of sum it up and make it real simple, what does the gateway do? It's a gateway to connectivity from outside your corporate network. Now let's go ahead and jump into the operating system and see how to set this all up. Alright, now for this demonstration, I needed to create another server. Okay, so what I did was I took another machine and installed Windows Server 2008 R2 on it, and I named the machine New York Mem 2. Okay, just to give it a name, we already have New York Mem 1, so just to represent that it's a member server, I'll show you. Right-click Computer Properties, New York Mem 2, part of the Global Mantix domain. Okay, nothing fancy has been done to this computer. Now, if you're trying to follow along, this computer can be a virtual machine, it can be a real machine, it doesn't matter, but you want to create another machine. Now, in my case,